Oh, hello. How do you do? How very nice to see you. Oh, do you know each other? Mrs. I'm such a fool. I never can remember names. Do forgive me. Oh, hello. How well you look. How nice to see you. It's been 1,000 years. My dear, I know. Life. It's so exhausting just existing. And what's it all about, one longs to know. It's one long rush. And now to top it all come dazzling wonders of television flashed from Lime Grove at Shepherd's Bush. It's such a wrench to leave one's television set, isn't it? May we say, well done you for doing it? No, we really do appreciate it because we know how hard it is not to look in, even when you hate it. And may we say thank you, too, for leaving your wireless and your book to come and have a look at Flesh and Blood? Well, it makes a change, doesn't it? Just think. Real live entertainers, seen in the original size and natural colours, not tinned or canned or screened from here to there, but actually here, breathing more or less, and actually here ready to do the show for you now. And for us, real live people to play to, not just imagined groups round sets or movie millions chewing as they stare, but real live people, crowds or few. 'Tis exciting, isn't it? And so new. Well, just think, us here, you there, us here. It's an occasion.
On the back of a literary weekly, under Personal I read it, just by chance. It was meant for me to see. 'Twas intended it should be, or I thought so, from that first haphazard glance. Yours, it said, the rhythm of the earth and sea and sky. Learn, it said, to dance the natural nature way. Let the music through, find the inner you. 2 minutes walk from Westbourne Terrace, join our group today. 2 minutes walk from Westbourne Terrace, join our group today. So I went then and there and enrolled, and this is what I was told. Learn to loosen, 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 bend to the music, just give way. Go with the music where it takes you, don't be afraid if it leads you astray. Listen to the music, get its message, learn to hear what the music will say. Listen, 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 hark to the music and dance away. I stood where I was and relaxed as I should. I waited and waited the message to hear. I listened and listened, but hark as I would, the music said only one thing in my ear. You're a horse, said the music, a great white horse, and you gallop and gallop and gallop the course, and you leap and you leap and you whinny and neigh, and you gallop and gallop and gallop away. Rest, said the teacher. Now listen anew. You must learn to loosen, or nothing comes through. So loosen, 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 bend to the music, just give way. Go with the music where it takes you, don't be afraid if it leads you astray. Listen to the music, get its message, learn to hear what the music will say. Listen, 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 hark to the music and dance away. Rest, said the teacher. Now listen, my dear. What is the musical message you hear? You're still a horse, said the music, a great white horse, and you gallop and gallop and gallop the course, and you leap and you leap and you whinny and neigh, and you gallop and 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 gallop away. Fine high red brick house in Pond Street, at home Mrs. Mendlicote waits. for this is one of her famous Thursdays. At home at 9, the invitation states. Tall Mrs. Mendlicote stands by the fireplace. Where is her husband? The world would know. Tall Mrs. Mendlicote alone and smiling, banked by hydrangeas and carnations glow. Candles are flickering in the candelabra. People come drifting in ones and twos and threes. How enchanting Lady Mary wearing Colonel Miller and Sir Godfrey Pease. Where is her husband? Canon Wardlow, Charlotte dear, and Mrs. Lees. Pagliacci's heart was broken, Mrs. Mendlicote thought and smiled. Pagliacci's heart was broken, mine still beating, though its beating's rather wild. He's gone and gone forever. Please forgive me and forget. He's gone and gone forever. Mrs. Mendlicote cannot quite realize it yet. Fine high red brick house in Pond Street. At home at 9, the invitation states, for this is one of her famous Thursdays. At home alone, Mrs. Mendlicote waits.
Now here is a young girl talking to her mother. Oh, Mummy, you don't understand. I've been thinking an awful lot about you and Daddy lately, now that you're both so old. Well, you're 40. Well, 39 then. Anyway, you're quite old and you don't understand about life anymore. You see, Mummy, you married Daddy when you were frightfully young and you've been perfectly happy ever since, so no wonder you don't understand, because you've never suffered. I think it's rather pathetic. Well, you think people ought to have regular meals and wear vests, and you don't understand the least bit about modern art. You and Daddy both think that if a person's going to do a thing, they've got to learn how to do it and to work hard. Well, that's a frightful thing to say. You see, you don't understand. It's miles easier to work than not to work. Eric Whistler says that it's absolutely wrong for a creative artist to work. He says a creative artist has got to wait until the art is ready to come through, and he's got to learn to starve for it if necessary. No, he's the one who finished up the cheese on Sunday night. I suppose you think it's quite easy to paint a picture entirely solid blue. Well, it's not. It takes ages and ages of concentration and discipline, and it took Eric 3 whole days before he even touched the canvas, and absolutely everyone thinks it's the most wonderful picture they ever saw in their whole lives. Well, absolutely everyone. Well, Esmond and Peggy and me, everyone. Poor Eric, he has such a tragic life. Well, he has to live at home with his family. And you know he's not allowed to play the wireless or the gramophone after 10 o'clock at night. Oh, you see, Mummy, you don't understand. You and Daddy think it's funny if I have the wireless and the gramophone on all day, but, Mummy, look, absolutely everybody up at Oxford and Cambridge do all their most advanced science and maths and all that sort of thing with the wireless and the gramophone full on the whole time. Well, because everybody knows it's the only way to think clearly. And another thing, you think it's funny if I lie on this sofa and telephone to somebody for an hour? But, Mummy, it's normal. I don't know how to say this without, sort of kind of hurting your feelings, but, well, last weekend at Uncle Jim's, well, the way we all played tennis. Well, I don't think that you and Daddy ought to have beaten people so much younger than yourselves. Well, George Dill and Eleanor Pasby are supposed to be frightfully good, and you kept sending them balls they couldn't take, and they didn't like it. And anyway, lobbing's frightfully old-fashioned. And another thing, I don't think that you and Daddy ought to dance together, so sort of, well, gaily like you did at the Wilsons. Well, everyone was staring at you, and you looked as if you were enjoying it. Look, Mum, don't feel you've got to keep up with us or anything. I mean, you've had a long life, and you must be tired. Are you going out tonight? No, nothing special. No, I only asked. Well, are you going to wear your little red jacket? Well, I thought, if you didn't happen to want it, perhaps I could. Mummy, you're laughing at me.
I had 3 brothers, Harold and Robert and James, all of them tall and handsome, all of them good at games. And I was allowed to feel for them, to bowl to them, to score. I was allowed to slay for them forever and evermore. Oh, I was allowed to fetch and carry for my 3 brothers, Jim and Bob and Harry. All of my brothers, Harry and Jim and Bob, grew to be good and clever, each of them at his job. And I was allowed to wait on them, to be their slave complete. I was allowed to work for them, and life for me was sweet. For I was allowed to fetch and carry for my 3 brothers, Jim and Bob and Harry. Jim went out to South Africa, Bob went out to Ceylon, Harry went out to New Zealand and settled in Wellington. And the grass grew high on the cricket pitch, and the tennis court went to hay, and the place was too big and too silent after they went away. So I turned it into a guest house after our parents died. I wrote to the boys every Sunday, and once a year they replied. All of them married eventually. I wrote to their wives, of course. Their wives wrote back on postcards. Well, it might have been very much worse. And now I have 9 nieces, most of them home at school. I have them all to stay here for the holidays as a rule. And I am allowed to wait on them, to do our jobs galore. I am allowed to slay for them, and life is sweet once more. For I am allowed to fetch and carry all the children of Jim and Bob and Harry.
Me and my friend are quite ambitious, we'd like to go far. We got dresses with sequins on and layers of lace. We go to the Palais once a week and keep up a terrible pace. Oh, I thought thought you was going to ask me. Me and my friend began our dancing at the same minute. Frida, my friend, is better at it. She puts more in it. We got fellas who dance with us, regular partners you see. Hers is a good one, just like she is. Mine dances more like me. 1, 2, 3, 1. Sorry. Oh, aren't they graceful? Oh, look at them turning. Oh, Frida, you do it lovely. Me and my boy are mad and dancing, never get going. All we can do is walk to music, toing and froing. Night after night we practice hard, 1 step, 2 step, a lot. All we can do is walk to music, goodness we do get hot. With the 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, we can beat out a beat that is hot and sweet and sing a jingle tingle all over the street. With the 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 5, with the jingle, jingle, jingle and jive. 1, 2, 3, 4. Me and my boy are mad and dancing. How am I doing? Me and my boy are near a crisis. I feel it brewing. Though we struggle, we don't progress. The reason is clear to see. He'd be alright if he was solo. His handicap is me.
It felt like an ordinary morning. It began in an ordinary way, and then, without warning, ordinary morning became extraordinary day. Hadn't the slightest sort of inkling. No one said love was on its way, and then, without warning, ordinary morning became extraordinary day. For there you were, and the whole world stood still. There you were, I loved you then, and I always will. At first an ordinary morning, begun in an ordinary way, and then my heart was beating at this ordinary meeting, for we both knew this was not an ordinary day.
Felt like an ordinary morning. It began in an ordinary way, and then, without warning, ordinary morning became extraordinary day. Hadn't the slightest sort of inkling. No one said love was on its way, and then, within a twinkling, without the smallest inkling, it became extraordinary day. For there you were, and the whole world stood still. There you were, I loved you then, and I always will. At first an ordinary morning, begun in an ordinary way, and then my heart was beating at this ordinary meeting, for we both knew this was not an ordinary day.
Yes, we both knew this was not an ordinary day. Shirl, would you say I got enigmatical smile? Nah, I can't do it, I got it. Well, that's what this fella says. Oh, fella I know. Well, you know my Norm. You know, the one drives the lorry with the big ears. Well, no, it's not him. No, this is a Mr. Lewis I got to know down my bus queue. Well, the other night, me and Norm, we was down self-serve cafe having a nice read before we went to the pictures, and Mr. Lewis come in and he says, would I be obtruding if I was to invite myself to sit at your table? So I says, no, I says, a free world, come on in, I says. And I says to Norm, this is Mr. Lewis, this is Norm. And they all shakes hands, and we sit down, and we start talking about this and that, and we get talking about dancing. And Mr. Lewis says to Norm, are you going down the Palais Saturday night? They got a gala on. So Norm says, not if he can help it. Well, he don't like dancing, see, can't get on with it. No, he pushes me around the floor like I was a load on his mind, but he don't like it. So Mr. Lewis says, well, he says, look, seeing as how you're not interested in the dance, he says, how would it be if I was to issue an invite to your young lady to accompany me dancing one of these nights? And how about making it this coming Saturday on account of the said gala? So Norm says it's okay by him as long as he don't have to go. Well, you could have knocked me down with a frying pan, but I was glad, you know. Oh, well, I like dancing. And Mr. Lewis is a well-made man, and he's a nice dresser. He's got the matching tie and handkerchief, and always got a lovely polish on his shoes and his hair. So I meet him, as per arrangement, and we go along to the Palais, but we don't go straight in dancing. We go to the snack bar first to have something to eat, see? And he's got lovely manners. He says, may I be permitted to divest you of your Mac? And then, you know, he passes a nice remark about my blue and my mittens, and the Demonte forget-me-nots in my hair, and my gypsy dangle earrings. And then we orders an iced tea, and it comes. And then he leans across the table, and he takes hold of my hand, and he says, has anyone ever told you you got provocative eyes? I'll see his cuff go in the beet salad, but I don't say nothing. And then he says, and he says, a enigmatical smile enough to drive a feller up the wall. Oh, he says, you are not half a bewitching young lady. And I says, no, I'm not. I'm quite nice when you know me. And he says, I don't believe your young man appreciates you. He says, I don't think he realises what a pearl among girls he's got hold of. Oh, I says, you mustn't talk like that. But I couldn't help liking it. Well, you know, it's like being on the pictures or something. Well, then the music starts, and the band plays, and they play Jealousy. And we dance. And he's a lovely dancer. Oh, he's got a smooth, glidey style, and he holds you so tight you can't breathe. It's lovely. And all the time we're dancing, he's saying soppy things in my ear, and I'm saying, shut up. But of course I'm hoping he won't. And he don't. And then we get into the slow waltz, and we've done it slower and slower, and he's bending over me, and he's saying, you are a woman and I am a man. And I say, I hope so. And he says, were you in my arms? He says, I'd like this to go on forever and ever. Then we done a quick turn, and he kisses me neck. Well, I think he meant to kiss me cheek, but he don't come up so high. Well, we done everything. We done the rumba, the samba, the mamba, the this or the that. And at the end of every one he says, "Oh, I wish this could go on forever." But I didn't. My feet, oh, they was killing me. Well, I got Lily Piggott's shoes on. They're not my size for long. And I say to myself, "Oh, how am I going to get home?" I was dead depressed. And then all of a sudden I look over by the door, and there, like a bolt out of the blue, Norm. He come up to me, very nonchalant like, and he says, "Ready for home?" I says, "Yes, just about." And he says, "Well, say good night nicely." So I say ta and ta to Mr. Lewis. "Yeah, he does look a bit funny, but I've got time to go into it." Next thing I know, I'm on the bus on the way home. Well, we never said nothing on the bus. But when we get to my door, I says to Norm, "Would you say I got provocative eyes?" He says, "If you ask silly questions, I'll black the pair of them for you." Oh, he's nice.
January brings the snow, makes your feet and fingers glow. February's ice and sleet, freeze the toes right off your feet. Welcome March with wintry wind, would thou wert not so unkind. April brings the soft spring showers, on and on for hours and hours. Farmers fear unkindly May, frost by night and hail by day. June it rains and never stops, 30 days and spoils the crops. In July the sun is hot. Is it shining? No, it's not. August cold and dank and wet, brings more rain than any yet. Then September's mud and mist, brings the wheezes to your chest. And October adds a gale, wind and slush and rain and hail. Dark November brings the fog, shouldn't do it to a dog. Freezing cold December then. Dear old January again.
My mother was born in Virginia, across the water. And in those days, Virginia was a very romantic place. You know, those white colonial houses with the columns and the porches and magnolia trees in the gardens and gardenia bushes and fireflies. And like all the other children who were brought up out there, my mother was brought up by a coloured mammy. And her coloured mammy was called Aunt Eliza Pyatt. And she taught her a lot of songs. And she used to sing them to her beaux when she grew up. Well, then she married and she came to England and I was born. And I learnt some of those songs. And here are some of the songs my mother taught me.
Hand me down my bonnet and hand me down my shawl. Hand me down my calico gown, I'm going to the calico ball. First he gave me honey, then he gave me cake, and then he gave me gingerbread for kissing him at the gate. Ah, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Ah, at the gate. Hand me down my bonnet and hand me down my shawl. Hand me down my calico gown, I'm going to the calico ball. First he gave me honey, then he gave me cake, and then he gave me gingerbread for kissing him at the gate. She's a yellow rose of Texas, I'm gwine for to see. No other darky knows her, no darky, only me. And she cried so when I left her, I thought 'twould break my heart. Now the yellow rose of Texas and me will never part. She's the sweetest rose of color this darky ever knew. like the diamonds, they sparkle like the dew. And you talk about your dearest May and sing of Rosalie. But the yellow rose of Texas beats the rose from Tennessee.
Since bacon has gone up $1 a pound, I've eaten so much jackrabbit I could bounce off the ground. Oh, Lordy me, oh, must I wait? Oh, honey, must I wait or must I hesitate? I had a cross-eyed gal, and that's a fact. When she cried, the tears ran straight down her back. Oh, Lordy me, oh, must I wait? Oh, honey, must I wait or must I hesitate? Roses is red and violets blue. I love loving and I love you. Oh, Lordy me, oh, must I wait? Oh, honey, honey, must I wait? Oh, must I hesitate? All night, angels watching over thee all night. All night, angels watching over thee all night. I went to the valley for to pray, angels watching over thee all night. I went to the valley for to pray, angels watching over thee all night. The Lord's gonna set this world on fire. The Lord's gonna set this world on fire. Some of these days, hallelujah. The Lord's gonna set this world on fire. Some of these days, just a closer walk with thee, Lord. Just a closer walk with thee. Some of these days, hallelujah. Just a closer walk with thee, Lord. Some of these days, all night, angels watching over thee all night, all night, all night. Angels watching over thee all night. Look at those children dressed in white, they're the children of the Israelite. Look at those children dressed in white, they're the children of the Israelite. Sit down, sister, no, I can't sit down. Sit down, sister, no, I can't sit down. Sit down, sister, no, I can't sit down. I just gotta have and gotta look all around. Look at those children dressed in red, they're the children that Moses led. Look at those children dressed in red, they're the children that Moses led. Sit down, sister, no, I can't sit down. Sit down, sister, no, I can't sit down. Sit down, sister, no, I can't sit down. I just gotta have and gotta look all around.
Look at those children dressed in black. They're the children that the Lord turned back. Look at those children dressed in black. They're the children that the Lord turned back. Sit down, sister, no, I can't sit down. Sit down, sister, no, I can't sit down. Sit down, sister, no, I can't sit down. I just gotta have and gotta look all around.
Now, here is a little song called Hostess.
When Mama gave a dinner for 12, she rested all day long. She rested all day long. Oh, she ordered the meal and directed the cook, ordered the flowers, took a last look at the table, but she rested all day long. She rested all day long. Down below in her kitchen kingdom, the cook, Mrs. Cooper, reigned supreme. Down in the kitchen working miracles with butter, sugar, and cream. Bullying the kitchen maid called Maisie, bullying the scullery girl called Flo, keeping everybody in her kitchen hurrying to and fro. Down below in his butler's pantry, the grand Mr. Harrison reigned. Down in his butler's pantry, lording it over the young persons he had trained. Ordering the parlour maid, called Beatrice, ordering the pantry boy, called Jim, keeping everybody in his kingdom running about for him. When Mama gave a dinner for 12, she rested all day long. She rested all day long. Oh, she ordered the meal and directed the cook, ordered the flowers, took a last look at the table, but she rested all day long. She rested all day long. Up above in her nursery kingdom, Nanny contrived to quiet her flock. Up above in the nursery, seeing the rocking horse didn't rock. Gloomily the schoolgirls in the schoolroom, tidily in French the menus write for their parents' dinner party later on that night. When Mama gave a dinner for 12, she rested all day long. She rested all day long. I'm only just back from the office. Oh, surely that clock can't be right. I've only an hour to do it in, and we're giving a dinner tonight.
Well, I expect you're getting hungry. It's very hard work being an audience, all that looking and listening and wondering what the message was. Makes us hungry too. I wish I could ask you all back to supper, but I just haven't had a minute this evening to get it ready, so please forgive me. Well, thank you very much for coming. It's been lovely to have you here, and I hope you all get home safely. Good night.